This is a demo of how to work on the Prolog assignment using CodeGrinder. So here I am in Canvas. I select the assignment, and then it gives me the option to load CodeGrinder in a new window. So I do that. Let me move the window over here so you can see it. So this is CodeGrinder, and this is the tool we'll be using for at least some of our assignments. As you can see over here on the left-hand side, it has the description of the problem and the instructions. Over on the right-hand side, we have a code editor, and we'll write our solution directly in here. And as you can see, I've provided you with the parent facts, and you shouldn't modify those. These are taken from the Star Wars family tree that we saw in class. And then there's a comment at the bottom that says write your code here. So if we look at the instructions, I'll let you read through them on your own, but the first thing you need to do is create male and female facts for them. So I'm just going to do that to show how. So in the editor, I'll type male, and the first one here is Rui. So I can create a simple fact with just ends in a dot. I'll do one more here. I'll do Vader is also a male. You don't actually need to save if you do anything else. Everything's automatically saved, and it's auto-saves about every 30 seconds. So you normally won't need to use that button. But the main one you'll want to use is grade. And when you click that, it submits everything to the server and runs unit tests on them. And as you can see, I've failed most of the tests because I haven't done very much. But the main status is over here on the left-hand side. The instructions have been replaced with the results of the test. And you can see I've failed the female test, the male test, and really all of the others. But if we look at the details, so here under the male test, there are two options to kind of expand it. The arrow, when I click on that, it shows me the details of which tests I failed. And that information was also conveyed over here on the right-hand side. The bottom half of the pane is a terminal, just like a terminal that you would access, a command line terminal that you would use on your own machine. I can scroll all the way up and see the exact output of the testing process that happened. And here at the very top, it even has the command sweepl -s test/family plt -t run tests. That's the exact command that it ran on the server to run these unit tests. So you can reproduce the same thing on your home machine. You don't have to work from within this environment. But when we get down here, that'll back over on the left-hand pane, I can see the location of the failure of the first test, which says here error in home CodeGrinder tests family.plt:28, which means it was on line 28. I'm going to go ahead and click back this arrow up here to go back to the results pane. And down here on the male test that I failed, there's also this other icon, and I'm not sure what that icon actually means, but when you click on it, it'll take you to the context. So this will actually load up the test file back over here in my editor pane. It now has the test file, and it's taken me to the line number of the unit test that failed. So I can see here it was trying to test the male predicate. So it says test parentheses male close parentheses colon hyphen, and then the test that it ran, male of Luke. It was expecting to find that Luke was a male, and since I haven't entered that one in yet, I failed. So here I can go ahead and go back to family.pl by clicking on that tab to go back to the editor. And I can add that fact, add male Luke, and now I can run grade again. Now normally I would go ahead and do a lot more before attempting another grade, since I know other work I can do. But I just want to demonstrate this. And so now when I go back to, I look at the results pane, I click on that context, and now it's showing me that line 29, the test after that, the one that asserts that Han Solo is a male, that's the first one that it found that failed. Once I've completed all of them, the male test will succeed. In fact, let's just go ahead and demo that. So, and over here on the left-hand tab, I can go back to the instructions by clicking on the eye, the little green eye over on the very left-hand side. And it lists the people who are supposed to be males in our system. And by the way, the tests are hard-coded to the set of data we have here, so you shouldn't expand the family tree, at least not if you want to pass the tests. So I've just added facts to say that Ben, Jason, and Anakin are all males. Now I'm going to hit grade again. And this time when I look at the results, it says that one test has passed, and that one is the male facts. So I have male, female, and then you actually need to go and write the predicates for mother, father, sister, grandson, first cousin, and descendant. But that's the basic process that you follow. Down here at the bottom, it still says that there's an error. because I haven't passed all of the tests. A couple other things to note. One is down here, in addition to the grade and save buttons, there's also a run button and a shell button. When I click on run, it loads Prolog and just loads my code but doesn't run the tests. So when I do that, my terminal just becomes an interactive terminal where I can work with the facts that I've typed in. So I can say parent of x, comma, let's say Luke, and it does the query just as we've demonstrated in class. It says that that works as long as x is Vader. I can say semicolon, and I have to hit enter on this one. It doesn't submit to the server till I hit enter. But it then finds that also Padme is another parent of Luke. So I can do some interactive testing and working with it directly within CodeGrinder. I don't have to go onto my own machine for that. There's some things different, like it's missing the prompt. That's something I hope to fix eventually, but that's how it is right now. And when I finish, if you leave it idle for a while, it'll shut itself off, or I can hit the cancel button down at the bottom, and that will turn it off and put me back. If I click on shell, that just gives me a regular Prolog shell that hasn't loaded my test file. So parent facts are not entered into the system. It's never heard of parent. So when I type parent of xy, it gives me an error. But that's useful if you just want to load an ad hoc shell and be able to test something from the Prolog interpreter, and you'd like to be able to do it right from within your browser. Once you've finished and you click grade, it will tell you that you've passed everything, and then it'll let you go on to the next step, and there are a few more problems. But they're documented there. Those are related to lists problems. The final thing I want to show you is that over here on the left-hand side, in addition to the instructions pane and the results tab, there are the list of files. And these are all the files that you have access to here. So family.pl is the file that we've been editing, and that's where your solution goes. And then there's also the tests family PLT file, which is where the unit tests are defined. And you can close those tabs, and if you close one, well, if you close them all, you don't have any left. But you can go back to the tabs, to the files tab, and select a file to load that into the editor. So you can open and close tabs, but there's this fixed list of files. And you pretty much always have access to the unit tests, so you can see exactly what's running. And if you watch the terminal when you click grade, you can see exactly how to invoke those tests. So you could go and just copy and paste these files onto your own machine, run those exact commands, and test things entirely from your local environment if you wish. In the future, I also hope to add an option to just download everything as a zip file, but we don't have that implemented yet. So if you want to do that, you've got to copy and paste the files yourself. So I hope that's helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. This is all live on the system right now, and this is the first assignment for CS 3520.